So was there a deal or a collection or maybe a single coin that came through your shop that you still kind of think about, or you and your siblings kind of talk about?
There's one that haunts me as a deal that we didn't buy. I was at a function for one of my sons, and the guys called me like, "Hey, we need," it was a Saturday afternoon. They're like, "Hey, we need you to come to the office. I've got a deal that you've got to see." So I literally say bye to my wife, jump in the truck, head over to the office, and there was a customer and his wife, and he was a super nice guy, very jovial, very just a cool guy. He had two albums, and they were all. It was a complete Walker set, and I think the average grade, the early dates were all 64 and 65. Like I'm talking 19D, that's like the big boys, all the 16s, ones. They were all just beautiful, beautiful coins. Most of them were cacked. And the short set dates were all seven. I mean, they were just old holders, beautiful collection. And he was bringing it in just to show his wife the value because she questioned whether or not it was worth what he keeps saying that it's worth. So he was like, I'm going to take it down to US coins and I'm going to show you where to deal if something happens to me ultimately. But it was also just kind of like a fun, action for him. And I was doing everything I could to buy that deal. It just wasn't for sale, but he loved it dearly and didn't want to let it go. That had to be 10 years ago. And I was just talking to my dad about it the other day. I think about it probably once a month. I got to have it, so if you're listening, please come back. But no, but in all seriousness, though, it just, there's always like we bought a 43 bronze. That's the first one we've ever bought the other day. And there's national news stories on those, once or 2 years, or in the news cycle, they're talking about, look at your change. You could have a couple $100,000 there. And we were offered one locally. We bought it the other day. I think that's a cool coin,
Yeah.
right? I like having stuff like that in the shop.
There's just certain coins that just kind of jump out of the case, when you see them, right?
At the end of the day, it's a cent. It's a bronze cent. So it shouldn't be cool or sexy or attractive, but the story of how it got here is really cool.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times when people look at, for 200 grand, would you rather have a nice proof 20, or would you rather have, one of 17 out of maybe a billion coins that were struck? So it just depends on the rarity that you're looking for and the aesthetic. Yeah, that's what I love about the coin business, because there's just so many different avenues and so many really cool pieces out there.
Man, very cool. Very cool. So let's move over towards maybe social media, live selling and new collectors, right? Because you guys have built a real following selling and talking about coins online. You made a decision to bring that side of the business into social media and live selling platforms. How's that going for you?
Yeah, look, the social media game it's amazing. Now, I would say that we probably haven't done as well as we should lately, just based on we're so busy in the store. It's hard. We do have a new social media person starting in office when we get back from the ANA, so that'll be nice. But overall, I think in the content space, people crave genuineness. They want to really see genuine. And I think a lot of coin dealers aren't comfortable with putting their business on there. They might be from maybe an older school train of thought where it's like, well, you could, you're going to get, robbed and this and that, and you're going to do this. And, there's a lot of negatives to look at, and you can get drowned. You can drown yourself in negatives. We're trying to find the positive, especially with social media, because I think it's important that people really see how things work. And I think at the end of the day, that's for me, what I follow on social media is understanding how things work and following trusted people to help take you on that path and that journey. Whereas I think in the coin space, a lot of times people use it as a function to sell, like on Instagram. Not my cup of tea. I think you sell through trust. And I think education helps build that trust. So that's always been our path. Now, Facebook, obviously we do some marketing there and we do well with it. Live streaming, we do it, but we don't really get into the mystery pack game on that too much. From the coin shop angle, it's more just kind of your standard. This is what we have. This is what we bought this week. We're selling this week, and try to give good deals out there. But, it all works together. And again, I think our interaction on social media, just in our engagement in the last 6 months, has just been outstanding. And we're really not even doing that much. So that really tells you the power